Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success, episode number 45 on this Tuesday, the 4th of March. Shocking still, but it's great to see everybody on here. Great to see you this morning, Matt. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday.
I am having a good Tuesday. This morning reminded me why we do Fuel for Success.
Is that right?
I wake up, I go out to my truck, and the back right tire is flat. So guess what that means? What is going to get the attention this morning? The back flat tire. So I can drive my truck again. So it is with our life. Spiritual, financial, relationships, health, right? You get a flat any four of those areas. Don't drive on it, my friends. Don't try to operate your life if you're flat in one of those areas. You need to make sure either you air it up, put on a spare tire, or get a new tire. Whatever you do, my friends, your life is exactly like a vehicle. Your vehicle can be in perfect shape, perfect engine, plenty of gas in the tank, everything perfect. But if you get a flat, you can't drive it. You got to give attention to that flat tire. So, got attention to it, my friend. We're ready to roll, baby. Excited about today's topic, man.
Oh, yeah.
How are you today?
I'm good. It's above zero. I couldn't be any happier.
How much above zero?
It was 10 degrees above zero when I took Danny to school this morning. So, that was shocking to me. I literally almost stopped the car when I saw it.
It was 10 degrees?
Yeah.
Can you explain the artwork we got going on in the background? 45 LCRP.
You don't know what that is?
I should, but maybe my brain's not tapped in.
I don't know how creative it is, but immediately, I'm an outdoorsman and a hunter and all those sort of things. And when I think the number 45, immediately to me, that's a caliber. So this is the base of a 45 Colt case.
Yeah, that is just creative. I don't know how it works, but
Thanks for being kind.
I like it though. I admire it. Girl said, "Wow, that's inspirational." She's joking about compliment.
Well, hey, yeah. So I'm excited about it being Tuesday because, as you know, every Tuesday it's life coaching and motivation. And I was actually noticing the numbers. So all the life coaching and motivation episodes are going to be like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So they actually jump by fives, of course, because we do 5 shows a week. And so anything that ends in a 0 or a 5 is life coaching and motivation. I'm a numbers guy.
That's a good way to put it. Hey, you want to talk about motivation, Mike? You know what still sits in my pantry? What would you guess would be is still sitting in my pantry?
I bet it's those chocolate things.
The Girl Scout cookies. Man.
Oh, the girls.
I've still exercised massive willpower by not eating them. And I think I might go all the way through because I read the ingredients yesterday. And I thought, wow, I love peanut butter, so I'll just throw peanut butter in my protein shake and live longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I might be donating those. Maybe we should give them away on the show.
We should. Hey, that's actually an interesting idea. We're going to send someone Girl Scout cookies. Hey, that's cool.
Tag along. Better not though, because I got a busy week. Girl Scout.
I know what you're saying. Hey, I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you, Matt, and I got you cranked up as loud as I can. So.
What?
That's a little better.
You want me to talk louder, my friend? Okay, here it comes.
Thank you. Hey, you know what? We've got several questions. As always, feel free, everyone, to ask questions and interact. Life coaching, motivation, any question that you have, we've got a bunch on the burner that we're ready to roll into. But if you have any new ones or anything that we talk about today that inspires you for a question, go ahead and click on the question box down there, or oops, over here, type in the chat box and ask questions. We'll be watching for those. Marcella doesn't get those. Apparently they have different Girl Scout cookies in Canada.
Sorry. Oh, I passed by a Canadian riding my bike the other day. I knew it was because I was coming on the sidewalk and it was a husband and wife. And I went off the sidewalk as a courtesy so they could keep walking. And when I got off the sidewalk, no harm to me, right? I'm still riding. It's not like I fell. It's not like, I broke an arm. It's not like my tire fell off. And when I got off the sidewalk to let them keep walking, she goes, sorry. And I started laughing. I was like, that's a Canadian right there. Total Canadian down here visiting.
For sure. We love Canadians.
I love my Canadians.
All right.
They beat us in hockey. Still mad about it.
We'll be okay, though.
Anyway, tell us what we got in store today. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can. Not sure what's going on with that with your headphone or whatever, but I can hear you as long as you.
I'm gonna sign off and sign back on. You just tell everybody how much you love them. I'll be back in like 20 seconds.
Perfect. So I love y'all, and we'll get Matt back in just a second. Get the audio thing fixed. I'm excited to see everybody. It's so humbling for us that everybody joins us every day and spends this time with us. What an awesome responsibility we have, and we pray every day before the show that God would help us, and that we can be an inspiration to you. So hopefully we can do that. And how about now, Matt? Let me hear your audio.
Hopefully it's better now. Is it better now?
Way better, and I'm even turning you down. Perfect.
See, my faithful little microphone that I use here.
Yeah.
Why they called this the Blue, I'll never know. Of all the names they could have named it, why Blue?
That's actually the company name.
Like
I
who
think.
sat? Really? Okay. Well, that's more acceptable. Anyway, tell us what we got in store today, my friend.
Well, as you know, it's life coaching motivation. We've got a bunch of questions. I actually want to start with a question today that, and you started out talking about the flat tire that you had this morning, and I know, it's sometimes you get a situation in life like that. Like last Easter, we got a flat tire driving down to my wife's parents' house on a Sunday afternoon. I'm in my, suit, and sometimes
going to Easter dinner,
and it's, it's spring in Minnesota, so everything's muddy, and I'm like, but you try to stay positive. And your outlook on that, and you took that situation, and my wife even said it was inspirational. It really was. You took that negative situation, I guess I would call it, and you turned it into a positive thing. How do you stay so positive?
Mike, it's been a work in progress, but I'm on my way there. I'm on my way of getting to the place where I literally look at everything in the positive light. And so I'm going to share with you just a couple of key principles that I think are important to staying positive. I believe that a positive attitude all starts within our mind. The reason why some people aren't able to attain that positive energy or that positive attitude is because they allow themselves to think and speak the negative. Even if you're alone, working in the garage, believe it or not, like I told my baseball players last night, I said, guys, it's all about habits. How you play in practice is how you're going to perform in the game. So like when we get in these situations such as the flat tire or the traffic jam, or you drive, like it takes me like 25 minutes to get to my son's school, maybe 30 sometimes in traffic, you get all the way there. And there's been twice where I got all the way there and I looked down at his feet before he was getting ready to walk in and he didn't have his shoes on. Just totally forgot to put on his shoes. Somebody like send him into school with shoes, or like maybe you get there and you realize you forgot his lunchbox. So you got to drive 30 minutes all the way back home and 30 minutes back to the school and 30 minutes back home, right? So, but it all starts with the little things, your attitude in your mind. And because here's what happens when you do get into real life situations that requires positive attitude, positive energy, you're already in that habit of positive thinking and positive speaking. So it starts with, realizing the benefits of a positive attitude. A lot of people don't realize that what an impact this makes on your family, that you want your kids believing that, man, my mother is so positive, or my dad has such a positive attitude. Literally Saturday, after Caleb and I were driving home from both of our baseball games, we went and had Buffalo Wild Wings. It's his favorite little place, so we go there sometimes. And we're just driving down the road. It's a beautiful day. We got the windows down. We're just chilling. And he said, Dad, literally out of the blue, he said, Dad, I want to thank you for something. I said, okay, what do you want to thank me for? I'm thinking he's going to thank me for Buffalo Wild Wings or taking him to the game. He goes, I want to thank you for teaching me how to have a positive attitude. He said, I really watch you more than you realize. And he said, thanks for showing me how to stay positive. Dude, Mike, you can't put money on that, bro. That's old, man, to hear that from your kids who know you better than anybody. To hear them say, you teach me how to be positive. You know what that does? That motivated me and fueled me to even be more positive. Starts with your energy, smiling a lot, laughing a lot, being kind to people, just having that positive energy. Now let's get practical. Sure. We've talked about this before, but you got to continuously associate with positive people because that is going to rub off on you. You are going to become what you associate with. That's some of your problems. The reason why you're not changing and becoming better and stronger and more positive is because most people you associate with are negative, they're complainers, they always have a negative outlook, they talk negative, they think negative, and it's just going to rub off on you. Of course, if you want to stay positive, you got to read books. You got to continuously attend seminars, a.k.a. Mission 25 will help you stay positive, my friends. Mike, we've seen so much need. I've been there, man. I've seen people that have had their legs amputated in wars, in accidents. I've been in hospitals, homeless shelters. So I've seen every kind of tragedy there is to see, from people that have had their loved one murdered, their kid kidnapped, their child get a deathly disease and die, someone losing their spouse. So because I've traveled the world and I'm a conversationalist on airplanes and malls, in churches and restaurants, I've encountered almost all the tragedies there is to encounter. And when you count your blessings and realize how blessed you are, and you continuously live in gratitude, when you live in gratitude, Mike, and you realize, wait a minute, like I said today on my Twitter, a minute. I don't feel like I have a minute to waste on negativity because I have so much to be thankful for. Life is so short. And God forbid that I complain and you got people out there that have no legs, that have a better attitude than most of the people I know. So that would be a couple of things. I'm going to just throw two more things out there on the practical side. Get out more. I think a lot of reason why some people aren't positive is because they're not out in nature enough. They're not active. They're not exercising. They're not outdoors. And I really believe that being outside in nature. So like the other day, Caleb and I were going to the restaurant. They said, sit inside or out. And I was like, outside. Caleb's like, Dad, I want to sit inside. I'm like, are you kidding? It's 75 degrees. Do you hear these birds? We get to people watch. There's a nice breeze. And I told him, I said, Caleb, get outside as much as you can because it's so good for you. And of course, we do live in Florida. That helps. I mean, how can you be negative when? Did you see my sunset picture Sunday night? I mean, it's kind of hard to be negative when you're seeing that on a regular basis, correct? Get healthy. The number one key to being positive is having a healthy body, because when you have a healthy body, see, here's why some people aren't positive, Mike. They have low self-esteem and they have low confidence. What I would tell anybody, because this is life coaching and motivation, when I do one-on-one life coaching with people, one of the number one things I work on is their self-acceptance, their confidence, and them increasing their self-esteem. Because a lot of people don't love themselves. In fact, most people hate themselves. Most people are disgusted by themselves. They're battling with guilt, inferiority, insecurity, and all kinds of deadly diseases of the emotions. See, we treat diseases of the body, but so many of us allow deadly diseases of the emotions to stay in our life. And that's why we have the suicide, the depression, the people losing it mentally, the drugs, the alcohol, all that. So that's what I got to say.
That's
Tried
that's
to
awesome.
keep it brief.
It was that's good. And as you said, life happens, and stuff is going to come up, and things are going to go awry. I don't know if you saw this. I was on Twitter this morning. I noticed that Derek Weber and his wife were stuck on the interstate for 16 hours because of a storm in Arkansas.
Whoa!
And I'm like, wow. And
Whoa!
about every hour there was a Twitter update. Yep, still stuck here. I guess because of ice and snow and things. And at least on Twitter, their attitude was positive.
I would have pulled over.
I don't think there was anywhere to go. Eventually, they moved like 2 miles, and they were able to like get to a ramp. So I'm not sure exactly how that happens mechanically. We'll have to ask him. Maybe I'm sure he's tired now and not online. But when he's on the show, maybe we'll ask him about it. But life things happen, right? And things that are out of your control, and how you handle it, how you react to it is really. And Shelley had mentioned something. The things you think on. There it is. If you replay negative things, it's going to affect your mood. And so if we think on things, the Bible says, think on those things that are good and that are wholesome. And so the things we think on affect how we react every day.
Well, Mike, and we need to be waking up saying, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
When people, not one time, if someone asks me in the grocery store, the gas station, or at the airport, or wherever, how are you? I'm not going to say fine. Who would say fine? Say either I'm blessed, doing amazing, happy to be alive, every day above the ground is a good day, something. Don't just get in a rut and say fine. I used to have this secretary. She was unbelievable. I called her the Sarge because she was such a get-it-done person. But she had no Southern belle on the phone, right? And, of course, you don't mind me saying this because I trained her. I was like, girl, when people call and like I would call her and say, hey, how are you? And she'd be like, fine. Like she had such a melancholy personality. I would be like, so let's practice this again, okay? So when I call and say, how are you? I want you to kind of smile on the phone and say, I'm doing good. How are you? Right? Because fine is not an answer, especially if you're going to be answering our calls in the office. And she would. She was just so matter of fact, so to the point. And I understand some of that's personality. But friends, all of us got to be willing to change a little bit so we can be a little bit more pleasant to be around. Some of you, I love you. You're not pleasant to be around. That's all I got to say.
I like Travis.
That's all I got to say.
I like what Travis says. When somebody asks him how he is, he says, I'm better than I deserve. That's powerful.
There you go, Travis. Then I want to say to you, Travis, no, you do deserve it, my friend.
Good stuff.
Told you I'd get on people's nerves. There we go. There's one, Travis. That'll blow people's mind. Yeah, God is good is something to say. I say that a lot. I think we need to say more positive things, Mike, in the mornings, before bed, around our family, around our kids. I just think energy is contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious. Yeah. Joy is contagious, my friend. Maybe we should do If You're Happy and You Know It right now. Maybe we should get all of our viewers right now to stand up and bust out a Happy If You Know It. Because you know what? Even though that song we learned in kindergarten, there's power in that song. Think about it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. That gets you going, baby. You know what I'm saying? We won't go there. What's the next question?
Thank you for not going there, because probably the worst thing we could do for the show is for you and me to start singing together. Not a good thing.
By far the worst. At least you could play the guitar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, so let me ask you this. Yeah.
Showing a little honor to Canada.
A little honor to Canada. Love it.
About to throw this away today.
Hey, Jared from Rack. Good to see you. I just saw a comment from you there.
Hey, Jared, my boy Rack. Jared is an awesome guy. Now, there's a guy with a good, positive attitude.
Yeah. Hey, so let me ask you this. So we're constantly talking about on Fuel for Success about things to help us, personally grow, and better ourselves and become, better husbands, fathers, whatever we are in business, in health, in finance, all those things. And part of that is just literally breaking free from average and the mentality of average. Um, what is your secret to break away from average?
Well, Mike, the secret is first and foremost making a commitment of an anti-average lifestyle, meaning that a lot of it is what we refuse. A lot of people could actually grow in life by the things that you make up your mind that you refuse. I refuse to be average, okay? Then you got to get a clear picture in your mind, because everything starts with a vision and clarity of what above average looks like. Some people don't even know. They're so used to being average. They've been around average so much that average seems normal. Average seems just as a part of life, but you got to develop a disgust, a hatred, a defiance. You've got to almost to the point of anything average could literally cause you to throw up. It turns your stomach. It literally brings an irritation to you. That helps. It really does. Then you got to start surrounding yourself with people that are growing. Mike, I read this morning, my friend. The average CEO in America last year read 60 books.
Wow.
Okay. The average American read one book. I didn't even get through one book. So I honestly believe what we become 5 years from now is determined by who we associate with and what we read. So you've got to start surrounding yourself with people that are growing, people that are developing, people that are attending seminars. And then, of course, connect with God in a massive way, because I'll be honest with you. You study the Bible, God himself despises average. There's nothing from Genesis to Revelations that will show you that God accepts average. In fact, there's many scriptures. I can just rattle off 3 on the top of my brain right now where God said, whatever you do it with all your might, right? There's nothing average about that. Then think about the scripture of love the Lord thy God with all your heart, soul, mind, Right. So I think that in life, we've got to be willing to soar above the average. And I think, good morning, buddy, connecting with God is the key to doing that, because God is going to continuously challenge you and push you, and God is going to, if you stay full of God, you're gonna soar above average. Then you got to become a risk taker. Some people are staying at an average level because they don't take more risk that push them out of their comfort zone. Average is comfortable. Average is easy. There's nothing that makes you sweat about average. There's nothing that causes you to have to get out of bed earlier about average. Average allows you to eat bad food. Average allows you to not be romantic with your wife or not meet your husband's needs. Average allows you to be an average dad or an average employee. But to break free from the average lifestyle, you've got to break free from the need to be liked. See, the reason why some people don't break out of being average, Mike, is because they have a need to be liked.
Right.
If you need to be liked, you're in big trouble, because the life of average is going to cause people to hate you, dislike you. You're going to rub people the wrong way, and it's going to bring out the critics, the negativity, the people that want to stay average. And then last but not least, Mike, I would say this. Can demand of yourself excellence, because here's the bottom line. So I got to tell my son after every baseball game, Caleb, I'm going to ask you a brutally honest question. Did you give 100%? And I'm not talking 90. I'm not talking, even if it's 98%, I need to know if you gave 100%. Say the same thing about his grades. I don't care if he gets a C. If he can look me in my eye and look in the mirror knowing that he literally gave 100%, then guess what? I'm not as angry about the C. Get it?
Yeah.
But you've got to demand of yourself excellence. A lot of people let themselves off the hook, Mike. Sometimes you need to look in the mirror and say, now you know better. You know you're better than this. You know that you're slacking. You know that you're not giving 100%. And I think those things right there, Mike, is going to help us break out of it, my friend.
I like that. Seems like every Tuesday, almost every topic we talk about and touch on, we always sort of come back and sort of touch on that people pleasing problem. And not that it's that it's necessarily bad to try to make people happy around you, but not when it stands in way of what you feel like you need to do from an excellence standpoint.
Totally, man.
It's good stuff. Go ahead.
No, good. I like what Carol said. That's a hard mentality to break away from, but once you do and know it's okay for people not to like you, you sleep better at night. By far the most freeing experience of my life was being completely delivered from people pleasing. Like I said in our couple episodes before, who I need to please is who I please. Everybody else, I love you and I hope I make you happy, but guess what? I will not lose 1 ounce of energy worrying about your opinion.
It's good.
And I don't mean that arrogant. I really don't mean that arrogant. I don't mean that cocky. I mean, I know who I am. I know what God's called me to do, and I know where I'm going. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But I'm over it now.
It's good.
That quick. Mike, say now.
Now.
That quick. I'm literally already over it. And that's what you've got to say to yourself.
Life is short. We don't have time to waste on things that don't impact what we're trying to do. Incidentally, Matt, I was just going to also point out anybody that, there's a whole episode on people pleasing, episode number 35. You can go back and check it out at fuelforsuccess.tv in the archives. Number 35 is all about people pleasing, so you can jump on that. We got about 4 minutes left, Matt. I've got a couple of more questions. I want to bring one to you here real quick, and one that we have. So, a lot of people, one of what impacts our life more than the choices we make, right? And we make choices every day about everything from what we eat to are we going to exercise, what are we going to work on, those sort of things, even what shirt I'm going to wear. And different choices have different impact in our life. And a lot of times people make, let's call them stupid choices, right? About their life and about things that they do. Why do you think that is? If I'm going to try to evaluate myself and why do I make bad choices, that'll probably help me in the future to make better choices. So what are some reasons why?
I don't know too many things that cause me to hang my head, not in depression, but just in them watching people. And I tweeted this yesterday. It's by far one of the most tragic things to watch somebody that you love and care about, Mike, make bad choices.
Yeah.
Now, we could do a whole episode, and I think we should next Tuesday, on choices and decisions. I wrote down some things because you emailed me the questions that came in. Why do people make stupid choices? The number one reason, Mike, is people don't stop to ask God for wisdom. Literally, if I could get on if I can get on TV right now and talk to every single person in the world right now, I would say, look, I'm going to simplify your entire life by one thing right here. Everything in your life, if you'll pause and ask God for wisdom, your life will actually start working. That's number one. Number two, Mike, second reason why some people make stupid choices is because they don't think things through. How many people do you know that you're like, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind? They didn't stop to really think things through. Do you know that the absolute most important job of any CEO, believe it or not, is to think?
Yeah.
Because a CEO's mind has to be clear, or a pastor. I tell every pastor I work with, look, the most important time of your day is your thinking time. Because if you don't have a clear mind, you're not going to be able to make good decisions. Okay, the third thing, Mike, why people make stupid choices, my friend, is because they don't look at the big picture. A lot of people only think about now. So this is something I've been working a lot with my son, is not being being spontaneous is good, okay? There's got to be an element of that in our life. However, you better always be a person that doesn't just shoot from the hip, but you think things through and you look at the big picture of how this is going to affect my purpose, my life, my family, my marriage, my business, my church. All of these things are so important. And then also, Mike, number 4 is a lot of people don't seek counsel. The Bible says, and this is actually one of my point number 8, so I'm going to skip to point 8. Point 8 is they don't follow biblical principles. One of the most powerful biblical principles about decisions is the Bible says, with wise advice, make war. In the multitude of counselors, there's safety. This does not mean you need everyone to agree with you. It means that before you make a major decision, though, you've got to talk to some people in your life that are going to give you another angle to look at. You don't need everyone in your inner circle to agree with you all the time. If you do, that's actually dangerous. I'm grateful that, see, before, Mike, I make any major decision, there's about 4 people that I call, literally. That would be my pastor. That would be Anthony Mangan. That would be you. And probably the other one, definitely Chris Dillingham. You know, those 4 people for sure are going to get a phone call from me before I make any major decision. And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna talk to my son about it as well, because I think too many parents, too many husbands shock their family and don't bring them into the decision-making process. The worst thing you can do is like pick your kid up from school and say, hey, we're moving next week, but it's going to be fun and you're going to love the house and you're going to love the new school you're going to be going to. That's not wise, man. That's actually destructive to a kid. I actually see a lot of parents that do that kind of stuff. So, and then Mike, I know we're almost out of time, but reacting emotionally is bad for decision making rather than waiting for the emotions to kind of die down, put them in check, think things clearly. Another reason people make bad decisions is they don't learn from their past mistakes. You know, listen, why in the world do we keep repeating history? Do we keep repeating the same mistakes? This is why you're in a pattern of making bad decisions. I had a friend of mine just last week I had to talk to. I was like, look, you keep sabotaging your success. Every time you have a breakthrough, you go back into your old patterns of making bad decisions, and you actually are sabotaging your success. You need to have a once and for all breakthrough that you stop making bad decisions. And then last but not least, Mike, is we don't take full responsibility for our choices in life. A lot of people are still in the blame game. A lot of people are still victim thinkers, so they don't make good decisions. No big deal, because they're going to blame somebody or they're going to find a way to become the victim in that situation. But when you take full responsibility for your life, you're going to start making better decisions, because you're going to think, wait a minute, I am in charge here. I'm the one making this decision. I'm the one that's bringing this havoc on my family or my life or whatever. That'll get us going right there, won't it, Mike?
That's good. Just got a question in from William that's perfect for tomorrow. So join us tomorrow, William, and we'll answer that question. Or that's actually William's wife, Pamela. About competition around church members. I think it's a good question for tomorrow.
Put them out of business, my friend. Put them out. Make it to where they can't compete with you. The thought of competing with you gives them nightmares at night. I'm just having fun with you. We'll deal with that tomorrow. Mike, good to see you, buddy. We'll be talking on the phone. We got some world-changing things going on right now. And that's no joke. I'm talking world-changing.
World-changing.
I'm talking like things that can affect Japan and Europe and Canada and Florida and Texas.
Even Canada.
I can't wait, man. Even Canada, baby. Hey, good to see everybody live today. I know we went a few minutes over. That's okay. We're kind of okay with that now. We're just not going a lot of time over. But anyways, we love you. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at 11 for spirituality. So we'll be talking about some spiritual issues on Wednesday. And then, of course, at noon is our Soul Winner show. And, of course, I'm asking all of you to text, tweet, Facebook, all of your friends, fuelforsuccess.tv. Please, you owe them the gift of this so they can have balance in all areas of their life and personal growth, and so they can grow and be inspired and be motivated. We love you guys. God bless. Oh, yeah, and Louisiana, Jeff. We can't forget you, man. We got it coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Jeff, we're going to New Orleans, Mission 25, New Orleans. I hope you're there, my friend. If you're not there, you don't deserve to celebrate Christmas.
Thanks, everyone. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.